Hey there, I think you're really going to be surprised at what you can make with just 3 simple ingredients. Today I'll be sharing 5 of my family's favorite dinners that you can make with just 3 ingredients, not including seasonings, of course. Let's get to my kitchen and let's get to cooking. To kick us off today, we are making these braised chicken tacos. They are so good. I have 2 larger chicken breasts right here. I'm going to season them generously on both sides with a dash of salt, pepper, paprika, chili powder, cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, and oregano. That's a lot of seasoning, but these chicken tacos are just seriously the best. Also, if you want to double this recipe for more people, you certainly can. You could also half it for less people, and I do want to let you know, if you want to use chicken thighs instead of chicken breast, you can do that too. But over to this large pot, I added in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once my oil was hot, I added in my chicken breasts, and we're not going to cook the chicken completely through at this point. We're just going to sear it on a higher heat on each side for about 3 minutes to form a wonderful sear. Then just remove it to a plate and set it to the side. As you see, searing your chicken, it just forms like a wonderful crust on the outside. This will give the chicken tacos so much immense flavor. But to that same pot, I added in a diced yellow onion along with 3.5 cups of chicken broth. Just bring this up to a simmer and scrape all those flavorful bits off the bottom of the pot. After a few minutes of simmering, add 1 cup of salsa right into your pot. You could use any brand or any type of salsa that you like or have on hand. Then add the seared chicken back into the pot, give it a little stir, cover this with a lid, and let this simmer for about 25 minutes covered. After the simmering time is up, just remove the chicken breasts to a plate, shred those chicken breasts up, or you could dice them if you want, then add them back into the sauce, give it a little stir, and then you could serve your tacos up. Also, you guys, get excited. I have been working on something for the past little while, and I cannot wait to share it with you. It is going to be out so soon. You could serve the braised chicken over rice. You could serve it in tortillas like I did with a little bit of guacamole and sliced green onions. You guys are probably surprised that I didn't top it with cheese. Well, I didn't have cheese on hand on that night. Otherwise, I probably would have. But that taco meat is so good. It is amazing. Now we are making this ham and cheese calzone, so I have a can of pizza crust right here. I'm using the thin pizza crust and I definitely recommend it just so the center cooks evenly. But now I have some ham. I'm going to place about 7 slices of ham right into the pizza crust just like this. If you don't want to use ham, you could really use anything. You could use pepperoni, turkey, anything that you like. But now I have slices of mozzarella cheese and I'm going to place about 6 slices of mozzarella on top of the ham. If you don't care for mozzarella, you could use any cheese that you love. I sprinkled this with a little bit of Italian seasoning for added flavor. Now I'm just going to roll this up super easy like this. Now I'm going to kind of pinch the ends in and cut off some of the excess dough on the end. Now I'm going to pull out a sheet pan and I'll place the calzone right onto our sheet pan. After that, this step is optional, but it just gives the calzone so much great flavor. I have 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Into the melted butter, I added a 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Kind of give it a stir. Then brush this on top of your calzone. The butter mixture kind of crisps up and it is just like the best part in my opinion. Now I'll slice a few holes on top of the calzone so it can breathe. This will bake in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes. Here's my plate of food. That calzone is so flavorful thanks to that butter mixture on top. It is just like crispy as you could see and so golden brown. I did serve this with a side salad with spring mix, cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, ranch dressing for the dressing, and this was just an easy good meal. Now we're making this caprese chicken, so over to the pan on my stove, I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once my oil was hot, I added in a pound of cubed chicken breast. Now add in a teaspoon of salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. Give the chicken a stir to get coated in the seasoning and the oil. But while my chicken's cooking away, I am going to slice up my cherry tomatoes. So I have a little over a cup of cherry tomatoes right here. I just sliced them in half. Now that my chicken's cooked through, I'm adding the cherry tomatoes right in there. Next, I grabbed a 12-ounce container of fresh mozzarella salad. This is like the mozzarella pearls with seasoning and oil. I added all the mozzarella pearls in there and just half of the oil that was in the container. The last thing I added in was a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, and I gave this a stir. Now you could serve it up. This is so flavorful. This is also a great lower carb option. It comes together in no time at all, and this is a great meal prep meal if you want to meal prep it. Now we're making these baked breaded chicken tenders with my favorite 3-ingredient ranch potatoes. I have a pound and a half of golden potatoes right here. I cut into smaller bite-sized pieces, or you could use red potatoes if you would like to. Just add the potatoes right into a large bowl. Now add in 3 tablespoons of olive oil along with a packet of ranch seasoning. Go ahead and give this a stir. That is all you have to do. Just make sure the potatoes are coated in the oil and the seasonings. They will just look beautiful and like golden and coated once you are done stirring it. Now pull out a sheet pan, line it with parchment paper, and add the potatoes right on there. Bake this in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 40 minutes or until the potatoes are fork tender. While they're baking away, we're going to get started on the chicken tenders. So I have a pound of chicken breast that I cut into kind of like strips, or you could just use chicken tenderloins. I added 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise into that bowl and I gave it a stir. Now add the chicken tenders right into a large bag. I like to add them into a bag just because it is so easy to coat the chicken that way, and it's just a little bit cleaner. Next, I added in a half a cup of Italian style breadcrumbs with a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. Give this a good shake to coat the chicken. If you have my cookbook, pull it out and turn to the sheet pan section, then turn a few pages, and on page 100, that is where you will find this recipe. And if you don't have a cookbook yet, I got more in stock for you. Now I'm going to pull out a sheet pan. I do have this sheet pan lined with parchment paper. I'm going to place the chicken tenders just right onto that sheet pan, kind of spread them out so they're not overlapping, and then bake this in a preheated oven to 425 degrees for 8 minutes. After 8 minutes, remove it from the oven and flip the chicken over. Bake this for 8 to 10 more minutes or until the chicken's completely cooked through. Here's my plate of food. Those potatoes are so flavorful and delicious. They're kind of crispy on the outside and like soft and pillowy on the inside. And then these chicken tenders are my family's all-time favorite chicken tenders. I've been making them for years and they're just crispy and just really good, and they're not fried, so we love them. Now we are making the best ever baked roast with my favorite twice baked potato casserole recipe. We're starting on the roast first, so I sprayed a baking dish with nonstick spray. Now I added the roast right in there and I'm seasoning it generously on both sides with a dash of salt and pepper. Next, add in 1 cup of beef broth. I was kind of under the weather this past week, so I forgot to add the beef broth in until after I covered it with foil. I was also holding one of my little ones at this point. So make sure you add 1 cup of beef broth right in there, then cover this tightly with foil. Bake it in a preheated oven to 325 degrees for 4 to 5 hours or until the roast is tender. Now that the roast is almost out of the oven, I'm getting started on the twice baked potato casserole recipe. I'm just peeling and cutting my russet potatoes into smaller chunks. Over to a large pot of boiling water, I'm adding the potatoes in there and I'm going to cook them until they're fork tender. Once they're fork tender, I just strain them. And I do want to let you know this twice baked potato casserole recipe, it's more than 3 ingredients, but I've been craving it and I'm sure you guys are excited about the recipe. It's also in the sides and appetizers section of my cookbook. It's on page 33. You'll find it right there. It is just amazing. And like I said, I've been craving it, so I'm just excited to make it. I added those tender potatoes into this big bowl. I also added in 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of cream cheese, 3/4 cup of milk, 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Now add in 3/4 cup of sour cream. I'm going to add in 2 sliced green onions right now, and you're going to want to add in some cooked crumbled bacon. I didn't have bacon on hand at that night, so I just didn't add any bacon in. This casserole is still good without the bacon. The bacon just adds a little pizzazz. Then for the seasonings, I added 1/2 teaspoon of salt, pepper, and dried thyme, and I gave this a good mix. I'll set it to the side. I pulled out a big baking dish and I'm spraying it with nonstick spray. Just add that casserole right in there and spread it out to the best of your ability. Now add 1 cup more shredded cheddar cheese to the top and some more sliced green onions. And if you're using bacon, add some bacon to the top too. Bake this in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Now that the roast is out of the oven, I just shredded it up and just look at how gorgeous that roast is. It is so juicy and the edges are like a little bit crispy. It really is like the most perfect chuck roast. And then here is the twice baked potato casserole out of the oven. That is just comfort food to the max, but this dinner is delicious. And that chuck roast only has a couple ingredients in it. It is like the most perfect dinner to make on a busy night. That twice baked potato casserole, it just hits home for me. It really is good. I did serve this with steamed carrots on the side. I would love to have you over here, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next video. Bye for now.